Hello, you're watching BBC Learning English Live. I'm George, and if you're not sure how to spell my name, it's written here. Ooh, there we go. And today we're talking all about the future perfect and the future continuous. So, as you're coming in, please say hello, tell me where you're watching from, and also I have a little picture for you, which is here. Can you finish these sentences? Okay, so in 4 months' time, I will have. In November, I will be. So I'm going to have a look at some of your comments now. We've got one from Roshan Mohammed. Hello from Sri Lanka. How are you, sir? I'm doing very well. It's the weather's a bit miserable at the moment in the UK, but I'm doing fine. And we've got one from Ginny. Hello, hi, Teacher George. How are things? Good to see you. Yeah, oh, blimey. I'm doing very well, thank you. Good to see you as well. Yuko, hello from Japan. Do you like the hustle and bustle of Tokyo? That's a very good expression. Yes, I do like the hustle and bustle of Tokyo. And I was in Tokyo for about 3 months and I had some very good memories there. Okay, we've got one from Helen. Hello from France. Nice hairdo. Oh, thank you very much. Jessica. Hello, George from Vietnam. Very nice to see you again. Hello, Jessica. Welcome to the class. And Marjuk. Hi, teacher. Watching from Bangladesh. Hello, Marjuk. Welcome to the class. Okay. So, as I said at the start of the lesson, we're talking all about the future perfect and the future continuous. And I've got 2 sentences here. They're true sentences about me. And can you complete them? We've got 2 pictures to give you some hints as to what these sentences could be about. So in 4 months' time, I will have What will I have done? In November, I will be, and then we've got another picture for the sentence. What do you think I will be doing in November? Okay. Hello, George from Taiwan. I will have gotten a CPL, commercial pilot license, in a few years. Wow. But for now, I will practice flying an aircraft by building my own Boeing 777 in Lego Fortnite. Okay, brilliant. Well, I wish you all the best with getting your commercial pilot license, Brian. Okay, so what do you think I will have done in 4 months' time? If you look at this picture, what do you think I will be doing in November? So Yoichi says, in November, I will be living in my flat for 4 years. Okay, good guess. Helen says, I will have attended a global environmental conference. Okay, good guess. Nice sentence as well. I will be traveling. So in November, I'll be traveling. Very good. Vladimir says, in 4 months' time, I'll be traveling to France. Okay, let's have a look at a few more. Brian says, in November, I will be going to Tokyo and visiting Mount Fuji. Very good. And Alicia, I will have traveled over there. No idea where that place is. Okay, well, you're about to find out, because here are my sentences. In 4 months' time, I will have seen Dua Lipa perform at Wembley Stadium. And in November, I will be eating some delicious Korean food in Seoul with my friends. So in Seoul, South Korea. So yes, in 4 months' time. So where are we now? February, March, April, May, June. So in June, I will be watching Dua Lipa perform. And in this sentence, in 4 months' time, I will have seen Dua Lipa. So the action is finished. It will be in the past for me in 4 months' time. I will have that memory because I will have already seen her perform. So we use I will have seen. And then in November, I will be eating some delicious Korean food in Seoul with my friends. So in November, however far away that is, but in November, at that time, I will be eating. So it's the length of time, the process. And so I'll be saying I'll be eating some delicious Korean food in Seoul with my friends. So we're going to have a look at these structures in more detail now. So let's have a look. We use the future perfect to talk about things. To talk about when things will be completed. Okay, so as I said before, in 4 months' time, I will have seen Dua Lipa perform at Wembley Stadium. That action will be completed in 4 months' time. It will be in the past for me. So we make this kind of sentence using this structure. So we have the subject, she, will have. So you can say will have or won't have, depending on if it's a positive or negative sentence. And then we have the past participle. So can you tell me in the chat, what is the past participle of do? Can you fill in the gap? Do you think she will have... Okay, brilliant. I can see answers flying in. Okay, let's choose one at random. Abdo, yes, you are right. Do you think she will have done her project by next Tuesday? So we've got do, did, done. So done is the past participle of do, and we use it when we make future perfect sentences like this. And the project will be completed by this time, by Tuesday at this time. Okay, so, it's common to use time phrases, these time phrases, in a future perfect sentence because the future perfect is concerned with time. The focus is on time for these sentences. So I'll have finished making my movie March next year. So can you fill in the gaps for these sentences? 6 months' time, we won't have saved up enough money for a house. 2 years, I'll have lived in London for over a decade. Okay. So let's have a look at some of your comments. By. Yes, so I'll have finished making my movie by March next year. Okay, so by March next month, the movie will be finished. It will be done. And that's why we use the future perfect, because it's completed. I won't be making the film after that because it's completed, it's done. And the focus is also on the time. By March next year, I'll have finished making it. It's done. Okay, so how about number 2? Can you tell me what time phrase can we use for number 2? Let me know in the comments. Okay, yes, lovely. Let's choose. Ooh. Okay, yeah, you could say in 6 months' time. And you'd be absolutely right. Yes, in 6 months' time, we won't have saved up enough money for a house. Okay, so in 6 months' time is like saying 6 months later. So in 6 months' time, 6 months from now, we won't have saved up enough money for a house. So save up means to collect enough money, to have enough money for the future. So maybe you're taking £20 each week, putting it into a pot, you're saving up. And 2 years now, I'll have lived in London for over a decade. Now, a decade is 10 years. 10 years. Okay, yes. Olga, 2 years from now. Yes, so 2 years from now. So another way of saying 2 years later, 2 years from now, I'll have lived in London for over a decade. So at the moment, 8 years, but in 2 years' time, 10 years, a decade. And again, it's this will be completed. So my living in London for over 10 years will be completed. That action will be done. And that's why we use the future perfect. Okay, so I've got 3 future perfect sentences for you. Can you complete them? I visit 20 countries in total by June next year. In 2030, our daughter graduate from university. I pay off my student loan in 2 years. Okay, so if you're a bit confused by pay off, you pay something off means pay all the money you owe. So in this sentence, they're paying off a student loan. And when you attend university, you borrow money from the student loan company. So let's say you borrow a couple of £1,000. Later on, you need to pay that back. So you need to pay it off. You pay back the money you owe. Okay, let's have a look at some of your answers, your comments. Yes, you are right. I'll have visited, or I will have visited. So yeah, we can shorten this if we want to make I'll have of. So and when we say it, it sounds like of I'll have visited. I'll have visited 20 countries in total by June next year. I'll have visited. Okay. In 2030, our daughter graduate from university. Ginny, yes, you are right. In 2030, our daughter will have graduated from university. Yes, so that again, that it will have been finished. Her studies will have finished. It's a completed action. So she will have graduated. That ceremony will have been completed. So we use the future perfect by this time in 2030. And then number 3. Yes, good. Yeah, Yumi. I'll have paid off. So I'll have paid off my student loan in 2 years. I wish I could say this, but yeah, I will have paid off my student loan in 2 years. You could again shorten it to I'll have paid off my student loan in 2 years. So 2 years later, this will have been finished. I don't need to pay my student loan anymore in 2 years' time. So I'll use the future perfect because the act of paying off my student loan will have been completed. Okay, so hopefully that is clear. What will you have done by 2030 and what won't you have done? Okay, so let me know in the comments. What will you have done by 2030 and what won't you have done? So make some predictions about yourself. Yes. Can we shorten 2 modal verbs like will have become to become ulv? Yeah, so when we speak, you can. I wouldn't recommend using it in formal writing. But yeah, when we speak, you can. So I'll have done it. It's quite common to shorten these words when we speak. Okay. Maria says, I will have visited the moon. Okay, very nice, very ambitious. I'll have retired. Okay, very good. Let's choose another one. Helen, I won't have forgotten this lesson by then, hopefully. Okay, very good. Sounds like you've got a good memory. I would have learnt Kung Fu like Bruce Lee. Okay, great. Roshan, I'll have graduated my degree. Okay, so we would probably say I'll have graduated with a degree. With a degree. Very good. You could also say I'll have graduated from my university. Let's have a look at one more. Whoops. Well, I would have gone to flight school and at least flown a smaller plane like a Cessna. Okay, very good. I would have become an artist by 2030. Lovely. Okay. Well done. These are excellent sentences. We're going to now move on to the future continuous. Okay, so we use the future continuous to talk about an activity that will be in progress at a specific time. So in this sentence, at this time, but in November, I will be eating some delicious Korean food in Seoul with my friends. So I know that I'm going there because I booked my ticket, and I know that I'll be eating some delicious Korean food in Seoul with my friends at that time. And again, the focus is on the time. Okay, so at this time in November, I will be eating. This action will be in progress. I'll be eating some delicious Korean food in Seoul with my friends. Okay, so the structure of the future continuous is subject plus will or won't be, won't be, plus verb plus I and NG. Okay, so I won't be at 2 p.m. tomorrow. So can you fill in the gap for this sentence? I won't be at 2 p.m. tomorrow. And we are here every Thursday at 1:30 p.m. UK time. So please join us again next week, because I'm sure we'll have a fantastic lesson for you. And we look forward to seeing you again. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Zelly, yes, I won't be working at 2 p.m. tomorrow. I won't be working at 2 p.m. tomorrow. I will be, but in this example, I won't be working at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, so the future continuous can also be used to talk about a future event that will happen in the normal course of things. Like this is a typical thing to happen. It's just a normal thing that happens. So, for example, when you're on a plane, we will be landing at approximately 4 p.m. local time. You'll hear this a lot on the plane because it's expected. Of course, we're going to land at approximately 4 p.m. local time. So, yeah, they use the future continuous. They know that it's going to happen. All right. Ooh. And we can also use the future continuous to politely ask about a person's plans. For example, will you be eating here tonight? It sounds a bit softer than saying, will you eat here tonight? Will you be eating here tonight? Yeah, it sounds softer and sounds more polite. Or will you be needing a taxi home? So again, it sounds politer than saying, will you need a taxi home? Okay, so those are some uses, and we're going to be looking at some example sentences here. I can give you the book tomorrow as I drive past your house anyway. We together for 20 years next month. And I my visa by tomorrow. Okay, so actually, sorry. Yes, so can you complete these sentences? I can give you the book tomorrow as I past your house anyway. We be together for 20 years next month. I my visa by tomorrow. Can you complete these sentences? And yes, one thing I forgot to add was that these can be either future continuous or future perfect. So choose which form you need for each sentence. Okay, so which form do you need for each sentence? Use either the future continuous or the future perfect. Okay, so let's have a look at some of your comments. So Ginny says, I will be driving. Yes, I can give you the book tomorrow as I'll be driving past your house anyway. So again, this is just the natural course of things. It's expected. You know, I'll be driving there anyway, so I can give you the book then. We be together for 20 years. So do we need to use the future perfect or the future continuous? Let me know in the comments. Magdalena says, will have been. And you are right. Yes, we will have been together for 20 years next month. So again, this is kind of like a completed action. A completed milestone, I suppose. We will have been together for 20 years next month. And by this time, that will have been completed. So we use future perfect. 3, I get my visa by tomorrow. Asma, I will have gotten my visa by tomorrow. Yes, you can say I will have gotten. I think that's more of an American way of saying it, but you could also say I will have got. So I will have gotten, I will have got my visa by tomorrow. It will have been completed, the action. Yes. So by tomorrow, I'll have the visa in my hand. It's done. So we use the future perfect. In about 2 hours' time, I a bungee jump. This time next week, we sit on a beach in Vietnam drinking cocktails. Will you here this weekend? Okay, and for some of these sentences, you might be able to use both. You might be able to use either the future perfect or the future continuous. There might be 2 correct answers. So let me know in the comments. And as always, we have a worksheet for you to practice the future continuous and the future perfect, which we will be uploading onto our website, and the link will be posted on our Facebook. So you can click on that link. It will take you to our website, and you can download it for free, and you can study on your own or with a friend. And yeah, we recommend reviewing this because then it will stay in your brain, it will stay in your mind for much longer, hopefully forever. Okay, so let's have a look at some of your answers. In about 2 hours' time, I do a bungee jump. Yes, good. Let's choose Vladimir. Yes, I'll be doing. You could say I'll be doing, or you could also say I'll have done. Yes, Alyssa, you're right. So in about 2 hours' time, I will have done a bungee jump. I will be doing a bungee jump. 2 hours' time, and this moment in 2 hours' time, I will have done. So this means that the bungee jump will have been completed. I will be, in 2 hours' time, I will be doing a bungee jump, means that maybe I'm still putting on my bungee jump equipment and I'm getting ready to jump, or maybe I'm in the process of jumping. Okay, so I will be doing, remember, it's the continuous form. So we are in the moment, we are still doing the action at that time, in about 2 hours' time. Okay, so that's the difference between those two, but they're both acceptable. This time next week, we sit on a beach in Vietnam drinking cocktails. Good. Yes, this time next week, we will be sitting on a beach in Vietnam drinking cocktails. Sounds like the perfect holiday. Yes, so we will be in the middle of this activity. This time next week, we will be sitting. And then will you stay here this weekend? Will you Stay here this weekend? Okay. Yes, Ludmilla, will you be staying here this weekend? So this is a polite way of asking somebody if they will be staying here or not. You could say, will you stay here this weekend? But it sounds a bit harsher. Will you be staying sounds a bit softer and more polite. Okay, so well done if you got those right. And now it's your turn. So can you use the future perfect and future continuous to talk about your future plans? What will you be doing in the future? Or what will you have done in the future? What do you think you'll have done in the future? And if you've just joined us and you're thinking, oh no, I've missed 25 minutes of the lesson, that's fine, because this lesson will be uploaded onto our Facebook and you can watch it again and again and again if you want to. Okay. At this time on the 20th of April, I'll be taking a picture with Hayden Christensen, Anakin Skywalker at the Star Wars celebration. Okay, very nice. That sounds very exciting. Will you be teaching next Thursday, George? Well, I'm not sure. You'll have to find out later. You'll have to find out next week. It could be me or Sean. I'll be teaching Japanese somewhere in the UK by the end of this year. Very good. Lovely sentence. Oh, and yes, I've just realised what you've done there. What very nice sentence as well, Ala. Next week, I'll be eating in Dubai with my son. Very good. What will you be eating? So this says, I'll be finishing a good push-up in the 4 months. Okay, very good. So in 4 months, or we wouldn't need so in 4 months. And if you're saying I will be finishing a good push-up, it means you'll be in the process of finishing a good push-up. But maybe in 4 months' time, you'll be looking back and you'll be thinking, I will have finished, meaning you will have completed a good push-up in 4 months. But you could say I'll be finishing a good push-up in 4 months. It just means that you're in the process. You will be in the process of finishing a good push-up. Great. Let's have a look at a few more. Coming Saturday, I'll be at my hometown, says Asman. Lovely. There were a few more. In 2030, I will have reached, so I would have reached a C1 level in English language, Yes, so in 2030, I would have reached a C1 level in the English language. Lovely. Next month, I will be skiing in Austria. I'm very jealous. I would love to be doing that as well. Let's have a look at a few more before we finish. Jimmy says, tonight I'll be watching TV shows and playing video games. Very good. What TV shows will you be watching? What video games will you be playing? And let's look at one more before we finish. 3 months from now, I will have finished my 3rd novel. Brilliant. Well done. What kinds of novels do you write? What's the genre? Okay, so thank you very much for joining us again today for this live. It's been great. I've really enjoyed reading your example sentences. And again, please join us next Thursday at 1:30 p.m. UK time for another live lesson. So thanks very much for joining and see you again soon. I'm just going to have a look at a few of your comments before I leave. Thank you, Yoichi. Thanks, Fernando. Hopefully see you again soon. Alicia, thank you very much. And Sir, thank you very much. Thanks for joining. Okay, bye-bye, everybody.